So if you're running pretty much anything in Azure, you know that keeping your applications healthy isn't just a nice to have. It's absolutely mission critical. But how do you actually do that? How do you go beyond just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best? Well, today, we're going to dive into the essential Azure tools that act as a health check for your cloud, making sure everything stays reliable and performs exactly the way it should. All right, so picture this. Your app is live, people are using it, data is flowing, but here's the question that probably keeps you up at night. Is it actually reliable? Because let's be honest, live doesn't automatically mean healthy. And without the right tools, you're basically just waiting to find out if it's performing well or if it's about to fall over. And that really gets to the heart of what we call the Cloud Reliability Challenge. It brings us to a fundamental truth. Monitoring isn't just some extra feature you bolt on at the end. No, it's an absolute necessity. Without it, you are trying to navigate this incredibly complex, dynamic environment completely in the dark. You know, flying blind is probably the perfect way to put it. Think about it. Performance issues, critical failures, even security vulnerabilities, they can pop up out of nowhere. And if you're not watching, you won't know something's wrong until your users start complaining. And by that point, the damage is already done. So how do we flip the lights on? How do we get that visibility? Well, let's get into the solution, starting with what I like to call the central nervous system of Azure's entire monitoring capability. At the very heart of it all is Azure Monitor. This is your foundational data collector. Seriously, it doesn't matter what it is, a VM, a database, a web app, you name it, Azure Monitor is the service that's pulling in all that raw data, all the metrics and the logs from every single corner of your Azure setup. And this is a great way to think about it. If your cloud is the patient on the operating table, Azure Monitor is the machine hooked up, checking all its vital signs. CPU usage? That's the heart rate. Memory consumption? That's the blood pressure. All those error logs? Those are the symptoms. It gathers all of this crucial information into one central place. Which leads to a very logical question, right? So you've got this mountain of data. Now what? I mean, having tons of data is totally useless if you can't make any sense of it. Collecting the vital signs is just step one. The real magic comes from what you do with that information. And this is where the rest of the toolkit comes into play. So let's imagine a real-world problem. Your customers are complaining that the checkout page on your e-commerce site keeps timing out. Okay, Azure gives you these specialized tools to help you analyze, visualize, and most importantly, act on the data that Azure Monitor is collecting. First up in the toolkit is Log Analytics. This is your investigation hub, your detective's office. Using a really powerful query language called KQL, you can sift through all that collected data to find the root cause of an issue. So for our checkout example, you could write a quick query to see if, say, a recent database update lines up with that spike in checkout failures. Next, we have alerts. This is your proactive defense. Instead of you having to stare at dashboards all day, you can set up alerts to automatically tell you when something goes wrong. For instance, you could set an alert to shoot you a text message the moment your checkout API's response time goes over 2 seconds. That way, you know about the problem long before your customers do. And finally, there's application insights. Now, this is key. While Azure Monitor is looking at the infrastructure, Application Insights zooms right in on your code. It's really built for developers. For our failing checkout, this is the tool that could trace the entire user transaction from start to finish and show you the exact function call that's causing the slowdown. So when you put it all together, you can see how it creates this continuous cycle. It's not just a random collection of tools, it's a complete end-to-end process. You collect the raw data with Monitor, you analyze it with Log Analytics, you get code-level details with Application Insights, and you respond proactively with alerts. This feedback loop is the absolute key to maintaining a healthy system. And when you put this entire system together, you move way beyond just looking at charts and logs. You get a clear, actionable path from spotting a problem to actually getting it resolved and doing it quickly. So what's the big payoff for doing all this? Well, the benefits are huge. You can maintain true system reliability. You can respond to problems in minutes instead of hours. You can detect issues before they ever hit a single user. And you can pinpoint those sneaky performance bottlenecks to make your apps faster and way more efficient. You know, this quote from Microsoft's own documentation really just nails it. The whole goal is to empower administrators and developers to keep their systems healthy and to solve problems the second they pop up, Ultimately, it's about being in control, not just reacting when things break. So, as we wrap this up, the final question isn't really about what these tools can do, it's about what you will do with them. You have the ability to see literally everything happening inside your cloud environment. The real challenge and the real opportunity is using that insight to build systems that are truly resilient, truly reliable, and perform amazingly well.
If you enjoyed this complete video, please like the video, share the video with others, and subscribe to the channel for more cloud and IT courses, and leave a comment with your feedback or future course suggestions.